Hey York! Welcome to our International Student Podcast, where our students share their stories and experiences of life in the UK. I'm Naveen, fourth year biology student from India, and your host for today, specializing in genetics. And today we'll be exploring about York. We'll delve straight right into the heart of York, discovering its culinary delights, captivating museums, renowned restaurants, iconic landmarks, and a rich history and culture. I'm joined by Chania and Brendan, so why don't you all introduce yourselves to our audience?
Hi, hello. I'm Jania. I'm second year student in biology doing genetics, and I'm from Peru.
Hi everyone, I'm Brendan. I'm a fourth year computer science student and I'm from Malaysia.
All right, so York. York's a city full of history. Beyond its ancient walls, there are tales of innovation, rich cuisine, and a rich, vibrant culinary scene. So first of all, which is your favorite restaurant in York? Which are the ones you've been to, and which are the ones you think are worth a visit for our listeners?
I'd say my favorite restaurant is Little Asia. I've tried the Korean food, and it's just a comfort place for me to go whenever I feel like having a treat for myself. I'm going with friends. And the places I've been to are a Colombian restaurant, which is named Tricolor.
Oh, I love Tricolor.
Yeah, I recommend it, especially the arepas.
Oh, the
the
arepas are
cheesy ones.
amazing, definitely.
Yes, especially since in York I don't find that many Latin restaurants at all, and Colombian is somehow similar to Peruvian cuisine. So when trying the arepas, it reminded me of like something similar we have in Peru, which are the humitas. So it was really nice.
And what about yourself, Brendan?
So I've been to a lot of restaurants in York. I have compiled like a top three for my personal one. So one of the first one I have is Chef Lu. So it's basically a Chinese restaurant that I would say it does a really good job in Chinese cuisines rather than a Chinese takeaway. So it's more more authentic. So that's one of like my comfort foods. And one of the second one is a Syrian restaurant called Babtuma. So I've been last year with my friends and we ordered a lot. We ordered shared platters and it was great. The desserts were very amazing.
No, I definitely recommend Chef Lou's. They have some amazing salt and pepper prawns. That's like the best starter in York, in my opinion. My favorite restaurant would be, this is actually a really hard one. I really like this Polish restaurant. It's called the Blue Barbican. Yeah, the Blue Barbican.
I'm not sure if I've been that one actually.
Me neither.
But I've seen it before.
It's really nice. It looks really pretty. And they have some amazing dumplings. They have these amazing cheese and spinach dumplings, which I highly recommend. But moving on, what do you think would be a hidden gem? All right, like a student favorite hidden gem, which everybody loves, but very few people know.
Well, one I would say is it's a dessert it's a dessert shop called Ipuku Tea House. I'm not sure if not too many people, not a lot of people know about this because it's a really small dessert tea house in York, and I went there first time last year with my sister. My sister came over to visit me in York, so I went there for the first time. I booked a table, and there was like an underground and also just a ground floor. And underground, there's like all these comic books of like Japanese comic books, and there's really good desserts. So we ordered like some of the iconic ones like green tea, dessert, and stuff like that, and it was great.
How about you, John? Yeah.
For me, I have two places in mind. One is Yemen Heaven. It's where you can go and like chill, listen to music. It has like two zones, right? One in the outside area and one in indoor. But I personally enjoy the outside area, like when I go with my friends and, sometimes have dessert, like Yemeni desserts, and just listen to the music. It's pretty nice.
No, Yemen Heaven's beautiful. They have some amazing Yemenis cuisine, and I'd never tried Yemenis cuisine before.
Me neither. Me
I
neither.
need to go there one day.
No, you have to. We can all go together,
Yeah.
make it a nice little group trip. But I think that's the best thing about coming to York, because when I was in India, we have amazing Indian food, but it's very hard to find other restaurants from different cultures. And coming to the UK, it's really nice to see all the different cultural cuisines that you can try out. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go to a checklist. All right. So this is gonna be the must-visit tourist attractions.
Okay.
Our listeners are gonna come and try to visit one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So, what do you think are some of the best historical attractions they should visit?
Well, first off, definitely the York Minster. But yeah, like everyone should definitely visit the York Minster, and pretty sure it's free entry for all the students, I believe. And going in there, it's a very nice place. It's very historical. And fun fact, I think it's one of the only UK cathedrals that only put a mistletoe on their high altar. So yeah, just Google fun facts.
No, the thing about York Minster is if you get your residence card and you can show that you're a resident of York, so you can get some tax certificates and stuff like that, you get free entrance. So that's highly worth a visit. And if you want to shelve out some extra cash, you can, I think it's 20 quid or 30 quid, something along that range. And you can go to the top floor and you can see the entirety of York from like above the Minster. It's amazing. And I highly recommend that.
Wow, I'll try that. Definitely try that. For me, what I love is the city walls. Because when my friends visit, something that I take them first is city walls. We walk around them. And I just like them so much because they are so old. It's part of history, right? And still nowadays, people can walk through them. So definitely city walls is for me.
Now, I have a really nice memory associated with the city walls. On New Year's Eve, me and my friends, we stayed up like the entirety of the night. And then in the morning, we were trying to see the sunrise. So we went to the city walls and we walked all around York trying to find a good place to see the sunrise. And they were like, ah, yes. All right. What are some shops do you think that people have to visit? Some really, really cool, chill shops people have to go to?
Well, one I would definitely say is in the Shambles Market. There's a lot of Harry Potter themed shops, so I think that's definitely a must go if you're a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, for me, I have this favorite shop in the Shambles as well. It's next to an ice cream shop. I don't remember the name, but it sells bracelets and like little things that you can give as a gift or necklaces, many pretty things.
My favorite shop, I would say, is a little bookshop by the Minster. It's called the Minster Bookshop, and they have different books from like in the 50s, the 60s. I mean, they're new prints, but they've been written back in those days, and they're really, really beautiful. They have some really nice vintage books as well. It's a 4-story bookshop, and it's really, really quaint. The owners are lovely, so I highly recommend that. All right, so we've done historical sites, we've done shops, museums. York has so many museums. Which is your favorite museum in the city of York?
Well, I definitely got to say is the York Castle Museum.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for sure, because going there is all the historical stuff. It's great, and also next to the museum, there's also like the museum gardens where very very fun place. It's very wide. There's also like some remains, like some statues where I think you can take a picture with and just chill in there.
The ruins of St. Mary's Abbey. I think that's what it's called. All right, Jania.
For me, I really like to go to the Clifford Tower Museum.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen every time I pass by, I see many people go inside. So yeah, I would like to try that.
So the best thing about the York Castle Museum and the York Clifford Tower is they're right next to each other. And my favorite part of the York Castle Museum actually has to be the Victorian era street. So there's this nice little street which is trying to pretend to be like back in the 1800s, and you have all these people who dress up like they're part of the 1800s, and it feels like you're walking back through time, back when York used to be like the good old days. If we're gonna extend the definition of a museum, I'm also going to go for an art gallery. There's the York Art Gallery, which is right next to the Yorkshire Museum. So that's the York Art Gallery's free entry. You can go in anytime you like. So highly recommend that. It's a really nice trip with your friends if you like art.
Yes, I've been to. That's one of the first places I've actually been here in York.
All right. So that's the checklist. Those are some things that I think our listeners would love to see. But what are some of the special city cultural events or festivals? York is famous for Vikings. York is famous for independent shops and markets. So what are some of the famous festivals that we have which celebrate these?
I'd say the Christmas shops. That's what I like the most about York, and especially the carousel that every year comes. And that's what I like the best, exploring it. And also what I like about York is in every season there is something new, right? So like around this time, there is the York Ice Trail.
The York Ice Trail.
Yes, it was so beautiful. I saw one of the statues, like the figures outside near to the Minster. So yeah.
With regards to the Christmas market, York has one of the best Christmas markets in the UK. It's really nice. So many different shops. What about you, Brendan? What do you think is some of the cool cultural festivals that people need to check out?
I think that for sure one of them is the Food Festival. So I think I'm not really sure the exact date, but Food Festival, there's shops in the Parliament Street. There's a lot of food. There's a lot of variety of foods, like probably roast, some other stuff including as well.
One of the festivals which I think everybody needs to check out, because York is famous for Vikings. Come on, we used to be called Jorvik. The Vikings came in York back in the old days. Is the York Viking Festival, where, well, you'll never guess, but people dress up as Vikings and talk about the history of how the Vikings used to be. So that is definitely something to check out, the York Viking Festival. And yeah, there's always something or the other thing
Yes,
that's
there's
going on
always
in York.
something.
And have any of you all participated in any of the festivals, by the way?
Not too much for me. Or I mean, I've only been to the festivals like several times, but not really. Like I went there with a lot of my friends, and yeah, it's not really much of a part on festivals.
Yeah, for me, I remember last year I went to the Vikings festival, and with my friend we tried on, the costumes and the shields. So yeah, that's one of my favorite as well. That was one of my favorites as well.
Alrighty, and we are reaching the last question of today. What do you think is your number one favorite thing to do in York that everybody who's listening needs to try out?
Well, definitely the food, because as you mentioned before, here in the UK, especially York, there are so many types of cuisines. When I came here, I tried so many things like Vietnamese food, Thai food, Indian food, Chinese food, so many things. So I would definitely recommend for people to go and explore the different places that there are here in York. So yeah, food.
For me, definitely exploring the scenery because I believe York has one of the best sceneries in England. Where everywhere you go, it's not too tiring. It's very chill. The atmosphere. You can just walk anywhere in the city center to take your mind off like certain stuff. A lot of places for you to like Museum Garden, the parks, a lot of historical sceneries as well, where like the York Minster. So definitely should take a day like the city, just tour around the city for one day, check out everything they have, food, scenery, just enjoy the city as a whole, right? Yeah.
All right. My recommendation has to be this little cute, quaint cafe called Parlourmaid, where they sell scones. And I love scones. I never tried scones before coming to the UK. But when I tried it over there, I was like, this is the best thing ever. So, yeah. If anybody
I'll
wants to
definitely go.
definitely try that out. It's in the Shambles. Really beautiful part of town. And with that, I guess we're done. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a lovely week, and we'll catch you We'll catch you next time for our next episode of Hey York.
Thank you.
Thank you.